Hello, everyone. Today on Good Morning Maine, a washed-out train track in Orangeville sends a locomotive flying from the rails.
Plus, a federal appeals court has promising news for Maine lobstermen as they fight new regulations.
And we'll look into Bangor's plan to create an area for tiny homes to help ease that housing crisis.
Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith.
And I'm Craig Colson. Thank you so much for tuning in today. It looks like we're going to have a beautiful day ahead. I just poked my head outside the studio. It was dark when we came in, but the sun is up. It just looks like it's going to be a glorious day.
Up in full force. I bet the temperatures will be rising for the next few hours, too. Let's check in with Devin Biggs. He has the full weather forecast.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Happy Thursday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Shepherd Toyota, your hometown connection for Toyota cars and trucks. Easy to find on Route 1, Rockland, Thomas, and Town Line. Shepherd Toyota has a great selection of new and previously loved vehicles. At Shepherd Toyota, they don't sell you a car, they help you buy one. Come experience the Shepherd difference today. All right, let's get things rolling out there this morning. A few counties under a frost advisory still, where growing season is still going on, but everyone else pretty much cooling off as we head into the latter parts of fall. Small craft advisory is up until 6 a.m. on Friday, though, as the ocean does continue to remain active. Here we are, radar and satellite. This is a nice sight to see. Things finally starting to calm down around here, though, as this front is now tracked off towards the east. A lot of clearing of the skies. The next several days will feature plenty of sunshine. We'll have to wait until next week for our next round of a few showers. I'll begin to move in yet again. But here's the wide picture. This front's finally out of here, and high pressure is going to be just to our south moving in. So that does mean some nice weather on the way for us coming up. So for today, though, maybe a few clouds across the northern ends of the state. But for us, looking pretty good with a lot of sunshine that will begin to be seen today. Otherwise, though, the winds could get a little gusty again. It'll be out of the southwest, some sustained winds up to 15 miles per hour at times, with some gusts even up to 25 miles per hour. Hourly forecast for the rest of the daytime period, a lot of sunshine, temperatures making it into the 50s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma?
All right, thank you, Devin. Well, crews will return to Orangeville today to continue clearing train cars that jumped the tracks. No one was injured when the train ran across a washed-out section of track. Now heavy equipment will be brought in to clear the crash site. Devin Dagnall has the story.
According to Canadian Pacific, at approximately 3:15 a.m., one of their trains derailed near Milo. As you can see, the pileup has created quite a mess along the tracks, with dirt and debris scattered along the tracks. Early reports said that tar was spilling from one of the train cars into a nearby stream. The Maine Department of Environmental Protection has since put out a statement saying that there has been no serious threat to the environment from the accident. Mark Willett, a resident and former CP employee who lives in earshot of the accident, says that he was able to hear the train as the derailment happened.
Well, I was up at 3 o'clock and I heard the train whistle. Must have been for the closest railroad crossing. And then all of a sudden I didn't hear the train go by and I heard kind of a rumbling noise, and that was it. Then about an hour later, the fire department was out in front of my house with the lights on and directing traffic.
CP says that none of the crew on the train was hurt, and there is currently no public safety issues. The accident has not blocked off the road, but it has temporarily been converted to a one-way street with a traffic light so that CP's responders can work safely. Some of the workers on site speculate that the work may take up to 3 days. In Orangeville, I'm Devin Dagnall, reporting for ABC7 and Fox 22.
A Robbinston woman was in court Wednesday afternoon to be arraigned for murder. A 42-year-old Rebecca Moores was arrested in July in connection with the death of 53-year-old Paula Johnson. Johnson was found dead in her home at 515 Layton Road in Pembroke on February 9th. Moores pleaded not guilty to the murder charge during her arraignment.
Augusta police say they've arrested a suspect in a robbery at Camden National Bank on Armory Street. It happened over the weekend. The Augusta Police Department says the arrest was made in partnership with the FBI. They arrested 37-year-old Joshua Broman, who is a recent resident of Gardner. They believe he's the masked man seen here holding up the bank. They say the vehicle suspected and used in the alleged crime was located on Eastern Avenue in Augusta, and law enforcement was able to positively identify Bowman as the robbery suspect. He's now being held at the Kennebec County Jail without bail.
On Tuesday, Lincoln Police Department responded to a call of a disorderly person at the Lincoln Courthouse. Dustin Sellers was arrested in response to the call and charged with assault on an officer, assault, disorderly conduct, and criminal threatening. He was transported to the Penobscot County Jail, where he is currently being held.
Former fire chief from Athens has been indicted for allegedly sexually assaulting a 9-year-old. 45-year-old Sean Boyd was arrested in July. Boyd allegedly sexually assaulted the child in 2014. The Somerset County grand jury indicted him on charges including gross sexual assault and unlawful sexual contact. A Waterville woman, meanwhile, was also indicted in connection with a robbery at a Fairfield convenience store. Police say 32-year-old Bethany Hassan Munir and an accomplice robbed the Circle K on Norwich Walk Road in May. They were found at a home in Waterville later in the day. Hassan Munir was indicted for robbery and theft by unauthorized taking.
A house fire broke out in the town of Lincoln Tuesday morning. According to Lincoln Fire Chief Les Brown, the station received the call at 9:17 a.m. and quickly responded. Brown says that was when crews arrived, that the back of the building was fully engulfed in smoke and fire, but it was quickly knocked down.
They did not have a wood stove going. They didn't have any other kind of heat source going, so we're suspecting it was a heat source in the back addition.
The Lincoln Fire Department says that there were no injuries and that the damage to the residence was minimal. Brown says that the majority of the damage was from smoke and water, not actual flames.
Waterville was the scene of a scary crash Wednesday morning. Two vehicles collided on Kennedy Memorial Drive just after 9:30 in the morning. Officials say some people were injured and one of the cars ended up slamming into a nearby home. A dog was also hurt in the crash and was brought to a local animal hospital. Officials say the jaws of life had to be used to pry some of the victims from the wreckage.
A local couple turned to modern technology to help stop a rash of thefts. They wish to remain anonymous, but tell us someone has been stealing their belongings from properties and job sites they own in the Herman area. After losing generators, tools, and other property, they decided to install cameras and air tag tracking devices on their remaining properties. One was in place Tuesday night when someone backed in and stole an expensive dump trailer. They watched the whole thing and tracked the stolen trailer to a home in East Corinth. The victims say the alleged crooks are well known to local police. The sheriff's office confirms the case is now under investigation.
Well, in early September of this year, a federal judge sided with NOAA and ruled against the Maine Lobstermen's Association in its lawsuit against the agency. The lobstermen say the agency's plan to save the northern Atlantic right whales is flawed, and now an appeals court has sided with them in their request to expedite the consideration of its appeal. In September 2021, the Lobstermen's Association filed suit challenging the 10-year whale protection plan that they say will all but eliminate the Maine lobster fishery and still fails to save the endangered North Atlantic right whale. The MLA argues that NOAA has overestimated the lobster industry's risk to right whales and also failed to follow mandatory legal requirements to assess the economic and social costs of their actions. In early September of this year, a federal judge in Washington ruled against the MLA's lawsuit and deferred to NOAA on all accounts without disputing the validity of MLA's concerns. As a result, NOAA is now fast-tracking that 10-year whale plan and will require Maine's lobster industry to implement what the industry calls an unachievable 90% risk reduction as quickly as possible, or the fishery could be shut down. In granting the motion for the expedited appeal, the court laid out a timeline that requires all briefs be submitted by January 10th. The court rarely grants motions to expedite.
With Election Day being just under 3 weeks away, voters are already taking action. Secretary of State Shenna Bellows tells us that there have been over 100,000 requests for absentee ballots already. If you would like to vote that way, you still can. Reach out to your municipal office or go online to maine.gov to get your ballot. They are accepted now through the Thursday before the election.
We are so lucky in Maine. Our local election clerks are pros. Our elections are free, fair, and secure. Things are running very smoothly.
Bellows also says that most municipalities are doing well with volunteers signing up, but some are still looking for help. She says it doesn't matter what party you're associated with. You only need to be a resident of the county that you want to volunteer in.
Lots of opportunities out there. You just have to stand up and say, I want to be part of it.
I know, and they definitely need the help, so It's always needed. Well, the time is now 8:09. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, Bangor is considering a proposal that could help some people live in a home of their own.
But first, let's take another look at that forecast. It's a good one, too. A breezy and mostly sunny day today with highs around 56 degrees. Tonight, mostly clear. Going to be a bit chilly out there with the lows dipping down into the 30s. Tomorrow, though, another nice, warm fall day here in Maine and mostly sunny day. Highs right around 58. We'll be right back.
I was a public health nurse for 29 years. I went into the homes of my neighbors, including many seniors, and cared for them. Then Paul LePage became governor, and everything changed. He kicked seniors off Maine's low-cost prescription drug plan. He cut a Social Security program when it was needed most, and even opposed Meals on Wheels funding. How cruel is that? We can't go back to Paul LePage.
The top funder of Better Maine is the Democratic Governors Association.
When pipes froze and water damage ravaged a home, Bouchard Cleaning was there to restore and dry things up. When a home in Wells needed mold remediation, Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration performed as promised. From Madawaska to Owl's Head, Ashland to Bath, we've answered the call. More than just a cleaning company, we're restoring Maine. Statewide commercial and residential services. Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration.
She's been learning about the founding of our country, about rights and freedoms. Freedoms that today are under assault. Politician Bruce Poliquin supported amending the U.S. Constitution to ban abortion. He even voted for a nationwide ban. Poliquin would allow politicians to stand between women and their doctors. He supported allowing states to outlaw abortion even in cases of rape or incest. We can't let Bruce Poliquin back in Congress.
DCCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
On the next Last Man Standing.
Does Dad know you're messing around with his desk?
Mike gives Vanessa some space.
They're called she sheds.
Yeah?
It's like a man cave for women. So what, I'm on the same level as a lawnmower now?
It's like a house on the outside, like an out. That's not right.
Last Man Standing.
This afternoon, starting at 4 on Fox 22.
It's Battle of the Ages.
These old geezers better work.
This old guy's here to play.
This is a joke. Hell's Kitchen, Battle of the Ages, tonight on Fox.
Senate President Troy Jackson stood with Maine Senate District 16 candidate Dave LaFontaine in Waterville yesterday to clarify their support for law enforcement in the face of what they call lies about their stance on that issue.
They don't have anything. They lie about people's character.
Jackson says false ads not directly attributed to their opponents are spreading a message that both Jackson and LaFontaine support defunding the police, something both men assert is totally untrue. Jackson says at least one resident was accosted by a supporter of LaFontaine's opponent over a yard sign supporting LaFontaine, and their yard signs have been damaged or removed. Jackson says he has a clear and consistent record of supporting law enforcement, and LaFontaine is a first-time candidate who served as a firefighter and EMT for the city of Waterville and the town of Winslow. He was chief in both communities for the last 10 years.
This behavior that has been displayed by my opponent, I think, does not reflect the values of our communities, and to me, it's been unheard of. I'm new to politics. I expected better. But I've taken the pledge as a clean election candidate that I would not attack my opponent's personality or anything like that.
And this is an unfortunate trend that we're seeing here in Maine with my colleagues. They're using national politics, bringing it in here to Maine, and making people feel very uncomfortable about the way things are going. Do right by the people of Maine and tell the people of Maine the truth.
Mr. LaFontaine faces off against current state representative Mike Perkins in the upcoming election for the Maine Senate District 16 seat.
Governor Janet Mills, meanwhile, was in Bangor and Brewer yesterday afternoon to mark 1 year of her Maine Jobs and Recovery Plan. The governor visited heat pump manufacturer Nile Systems in Brewer and then software developer Mobile Price Card in Bangor. The two businesses benefited from the Prime Fund grants, which aim to support technology companies across the state.
We're pleased that we're issuing another $5 million to this grant program to help industries and businesses such as this diversify retain workers, and improve our ability to decarbonize.
Applications for the latest round of Prime grants closes on November 15th. For more information about the grants and eligibility, visit mainetechnology.org/recovery funding.
The city of Bangor is considering creating tiny home parks as a new way to add affordable housing. Matthew Juronsik has more.
Bangor is in the process of allowing developers to construct tiny home parks to address the current housing crisis.
Right now, you can put a tiny home anywhere in the city of Bangor as long as you have utilities to the property. You can put them anywhere. But a tiny home park kind of takes it a step further to say, what if somebody wanted to create a development of tiny home parks?
Tiny home parks are defined as 2 or more tiny homes clustered together. Krieg says this plan has been in the works since 2019 based on recommendations made by the Affordable Housing Works Group in order to diversify the city's housing market. Tiny homes have become popular through social movements recommending people to downsize, and Krieg thinks these will help benefit the community.
There's a lot of buyers or people that are looking to rent that want to have their own space, and they also want to reduce their carbon footprint of where they live. Typically, a tiny home is very efficient in terms of its energy use. That provides an opportunity for people to sort of live less, live more, but live with less.
Developers say that working with the residents that live here is always their first priority. And the residents that I actually spoke to told me that they were glad the developers are putting in this much effort.
Well, I think it's great if they'll... I know it's hard for the people who live here because it's not very expensive. And most of us are on Social Security, so... if they can build little houses and help the people that need it, I think that's wonderful.
Developers like Louis Morrison understands the current situation and wants to do his part in retaining more residents.
Major affordable housing issue going on in Maine right now, and taking this old mobile home park that was very underutilized, only about 20% of it actually being used, and turning it into something a little bit different.
And with the overwhelming support this effort is receiving, the plan is set to be discussed in the coming days.
The planning board has recommended that it ought to pass to the city council, and the city council will take it up at their next meeting on October 24th.
Matthew Juronsik, ABC7 and Fox 22.
Kind of interesting to see how society is changing. It used to be a time, I guess way back when, everybody had kind of a tiny house.
I know.
And then we grew and grew with all our material things, and now we're getting away from it again.
Less kids, more stuff.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
Well, the time now is 8:17. Give it 2 seconds. Now it's 8:18. After the break, we'll hear about the latest expansion project in the works for the Bangor YMCA.
Plus, a local florist gave away flowers yesterday in Bangor while working to instill positivity in the area. We'll hear their message as Good Morning Maine continues.
It's simple, and it's not an imaginary threat. In fact, it's happening right now all over the country. Bruce Poliquin would hand over control of our healthcare decisions to politicians. Poliquin would allow politicians like him to make abortion illegal, even in the case of rape and incest. But that's not the end of the story. Poliquin also supported a national abortion ban. So even if Maine says no, we still lose control of our healthcare decisions. Bruce Poliquin is a risk we just can't take. Center Forward Committee is responsible for the content of this advertising.
I'm Jared Golden, and I approve this message.
Veterans need a congressman who's got their backs. Jared Golden does. Jared's a veteran himself and worked with Republicans and Democrats to get the VA to build an inpatient facility in Maine to treat mental health and substance use disorders. Bruce Poliquin didn't have my back. Poliquin helped create a commission that wants to close VA facilities across Maine, forcing veterans to travel even further for VA care. Veterans can't trust Bruce Poliquin.
Wherever you are, whether you're ready or not, it's coming. With a purpose, with persistence, with the power to change the way you live. So you don't have to change the way you live. Generac automatic standby generators. Control your power, control your life. Visit Generac.com.
I think Janet Mills has been a pretty okay governor. Actually, I mean, she's been a good governor. And, okay, I think she's been a great governor. Okay, did I get it right?
Nice work, Angus.
Okay. Now, look, the formula seems to be no partisan brawls, working together with the parties, taking ideas from everybody.
Right. Turns out in this day and age, working together still pays off.
Who could believe it? See? Pretty okay.
I'll take it. Thanks, Angus.
Welcome back, everyone. There's a new project in the works over at the YMCA in Bangor. Diane Dickerson, the CEO at the Y, says they're moving into the next phase of an exciting project. Expansion has been part of the Bangor Y's plan since 2019. Bangor's economic plan would like the Y to move as close to downtown as possible. And with demolition underway on Davis Court, the Y still needs to raise money to build and expand. Dickerson is keeping the details of the plan a secret for now, but she promises to keep us updated in the weeks ahead. Very interesting to see what they have going on over there.
I know. I wonder how long they've been using the building they are now as the Y. So that's interesting. That's a big change.
Yep, quite a while, but I don't recall exactly the year.
I know.
I think I was here when it happened.
Right.
I've been here for too long.
Or at least the YWCA before that, though.
Yep.
So in their
they kind of had that merger way back. Was it the 90s or something like that?
I don't know.
I'll have to look it up. But anyway, they're growing to meet the changing times.
It's exciting. Very exciting. Well, the time is now 8:21.
Let's turn things over to Devin to get a full look at our forecast.
Alrighty, Craig and Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Shepherd Toyota, your hometown connection for Toyota cars and trucks. Easy to find on Route 1, Rockland, Thomas, and Town Line. Shepherd Toyota has a great selection of new and previously loved vehicles. At Shepherd Toyota, they don't sell you a car, they help you buy one. Come experience the Shepherd difference today. All right, let's get things rolling out there this morning. We had a few areas under a frost advisory. That's getting dropped later this morning. There's other areas as well under a small craft advisory until 6 a.m. Friday, because even though things are calm on shore, we saw that front out towards sea, which is causing the surf to get just a little bit on the active side. But the good news is finally we can say goodbye to this system right here. That's now tracking from the west going toward the east. And not much behind it. You have to look toward Canada for anything else that's developing at this point. But for us, we're going to be looking pretty good moving forward with this front tracking off towards the east. There's another area of low pressure that's going to stay to our north, maybe send some clouds in our direction. But most of us will see a good amount of sunshine today with high pressure not too far away. Now, the gusty winds could be an issue in some areas today, reaching up to around 20 to 25 miles per hour. But pretty much staying at around 15 miles per hour otherwise, at least until we head towards early Friday morning when things begin to ease up just a little bit. Wave heights, this is why we still have small craft advisories in effect. 5 to 8 foot wave heights being noted according to some of the buoys out there. And until this cold front begins to move away, these wave heights will continue to remain a little on the high side. Our average high is 57 degrees. We'll reach for the middle to upper 50s today and tomorrow, with the middle 60s returning just in time for the weekend, with the upper 50s for your Monday, then back up into the middle 60s again as we head towards Tuesday and near Wednesday. Futurecast moving forward for today, a lot of sunshine, maybe a few clouds in the northern ends of the state, maybe a few passing clouds even early tonight as well. Further out towards the north, but Bangor to the south should be good with a mostly clear sky, maybe some areas of dense fog that could develop. But Friday, another nice day on the way with a lot of sunshine. Looking ahead towards the next week, though, here's that chance Sunday night and at least 2 parts of next week before more rainfall on the way. This is way out, so we have plenty of time to watch this, but maybe another couple inches of rain on the way between Sunday and at least parts of Thursday of next week, so we do have time to watch this. But for today, it's beautiful. Middle 50s, mostly sunny and breezy. That south wind getting up to around 25 miles per hour. For tonight, middle 30s, mostly clear areas of dense fog. South wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tomorrow, upper 50s, not bad, mostly sunny. A southwest wind backing off to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Shepherd Toyota extended forecast. Here we are, plenty of sunshine, at least through Saturday. Temperatures on Saturday rising to the mid-60s. We're still in the mid-60s on Sunday with a mostly cloudy sky. And more rain moving in Sunday night into Monday. Monday's high in the upper 50s.
Thank you, Devin.
And when we return, a few national stories to keep you updated as Good Morning Maine continues.
Joe Biden and Janet Mills are working together to crush Maine families with rising costs. Mills and Democrats' radical plan targeting gas and home heating fuel will raise Maine's gas tax by up to 40 cents a gallon. And Mills' new tax on food and household essentials will increase monthly grocery bills by nearly $60. End the Biden-Mills crush on Maine families. Stop Janet Mills. The top funder of Maine Families First is Thomas Klingenstein.
Hammond Lumber Company, a fourth-generation family-owned and operated business with 22 locations across Maine and New Hampshire and a legacy of service to the community, is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the 2022 Plane Pull to benefit the Travis Mills Foundation.
Hey everybody, Travis Mills here, founder and president of the Travis Mills Foundation. And on behalf of myself, my family, and the recalibrated veterans and their families, I want to say a massive, huge, gigantic thank you to Hammond Lumber Company for their continued support. I appreciate them, and I hope you do as well.
I've been having foot pain for at least 10 years. The first day I put the key boot on, I could tell the difference. My pain level has been so much better. I was amazed. The key boots made it possible for me to actually walk without pain. I can go shopping, walking around the store without wanting to cry. I mean, I feel like dancing sometimes. The key boots made all the difference. Very happy with it. Comfort shoes, it's just changed my life.
87,000 new IRS agents. Jared Golden and the Democrats in Congress voted to hire them. They doubled the size of the IRS to seize another $20 billion in new taxes from the middle class. And now Democrats openly threaten to raise taxes again next year. Jared Golden won't stop them. He votes with Biden and Pelosi 83% of the time. It's a war on the middle class, and Jared Golden marches with them. The NRCC is responsible for the content of this advertisement.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. And now for your national news. Russian President Vladimir Putin declared martial law in the 4 regions of Ukraine Moscow recently annexed. This as the Russian army continues their attacks on various parts of Ukraine. Fox's Trey Yinkst has more from Kyiv.
During 24 hours, more than 10 regions were subject to Russian terrorist strikes.
Ukraine hit with several missiles Wednesday as Moscow continues to ramp up attacks targeting civilians. In the latest wave of strikes to cripple Ukraine's infrastructure, a Russian missile hit a thermal power plant in the west. According to Ukraine's president, Volodymyr Zelensky, a third of his country's power stations have been taken out, cutting power and water supplies to hundreds of thousands.
We are all seeing that the enemy is attacking critical infrastructure. Unfortunately, our region experienced missile fire today once again. The Burshin thermal power station was hit, which caused a fire.
In eastern Ukraine, emergency workers have their hands full. Paramedics dodging live rounds while trying to treat an injured woman in the Donetsk region. Part of the area is under Kyiv's control, but has seen intense fighting in recent weeks. First responders say despite the danger, they'll do whatever it takes to protect their home.
Yes, it is what it is. We are fighting for our homes, for our Ukraine, for our homeland.
As some Ukrainians are forced to duck constant shelling, the Kremlin warning others in the Kherson region to flee their homes. Tens of thousands of civilians and Russian-appointed officials getting on boats ahead of a possible Ukrainian push forward. The evacuations come as Ukraine's army regains more territory on the southern front. Ukrainian officials say residents in Kherson can ignore warnings to evacuate, adding this is just a Russian tactic to cause panic. In Kyiv, Trey Yinkst, Fox News.
Well, meanwhile, some farmers facing economic difficulties are getting a break. The U.S. Department of Agriculture is giving debt relief to 36,000 U.S. farmers. The USDA will provide $1.3 billion for those who have been falling behind on their loan payments or face foreclosures. The financial struggles include drought and transportation bottlenecks. Some farmers delinquent on direct or guaranteed loan payments for 60 days will get automatic electronic payments.
Former President Trump answering questions yesterday under oath in a rape defamation lawsuit filed by a magazine columnist. E. Jean Carroll says Trump raped her in a department store dressing room in the mid-1990s. Carroll's lawyers interrogating Trump about the assault allegations, as well as statements he made in 2019 when she told her story publicly for the first time. This deposition has been a long time coming, as the lawsuit was filed when Trump was president, during which his legal team worked to delay the deposition. Anything Trump said yesterday could potentially be used as evidence in an upcoming civil trial.
The fentanyl epidemic is not just in big cities. Many smaller communities find themselves at the finish line of a massive international smuggling operation controlled by the large drug cartels. Fox's Mike Tobin has more from Charleston, West Virginia.
Like you always do, get me some solid video.
Most drug cases begin with confidential informants.
There's 140 things always.
They're given marked bills, sent to meet a dealer, and come back with drugs.
Some heroin / fentanyl.
That repeats. Different informants, different dealers, and small drug purchases.
I'm going to buy $350 worth of fentanyl.
Get some less doors right there. As rural America is flooded with drugs, West Virginia has the sad distinction of leading the nation for drug overdose mortality. In 2020, for every 100,000 people in the Mountain State, 84 died from overdose. This year, nearly 96% of the deaths are caused by fentanyl.
As a parent, you're always waiting on the call.
Cece Brown understands the impact. Her son Ryan was hooked on opiates. One night, a detective came by.
He said, I'll never forget this, and this kind of replays in my mind over and over. Ryan passed away tonight.
The work that was done yesterday with the informants was to establish probable cause. There's probably a stash of dope in the house where they were working. Then they go to the judge, get a warrant, and the guys in this task force are about to execute that warrant.
Hands up. Put your hands up. Police search warrant. Police search warrant. Hands behind your backs now.
By the time the drugs get to rural America, they have been divided up into small portions for individual use. The haul from this raid was a gun, cash, some meth, and of course fentanyl. As it proves time and again, just a small amount of this fentanyl can be fatal.
There's not a family in this area that hasn't been touched by this crisis. That's a guarantee.
The suspect caught in this raid now gets pressed to become an informant himself and give police information about his suppliers. That's a big part of how the drug enforcement game goes. Cops press low-level operatives to give them information on suppliers up the chain. The traffickers try to get around the police, meet the demand, and make their money. In Charleston, West Virginia, Mike Tobin, Fox News.
Still to come here on the second half of our show, we'll have your latest foliage report.
Plus, to complement that, your full weather forecast with meteorologist Devin Biggs. Don't go away.
Joe Biden is crushing Maine. And who does Jared Golden support?
Golden's backing Biden.
Jared Golden said Joe Biden has
leadership that the country needs right now.
Higher taxes, record inflation, and still
Golden's backing Biden.
In D.C., Joe Biden relies on Jared Golden's votes.
President Joe Biden, and I'm asking you to vote for Jared Golden.
Jared Golden says he's independent, but anytime it matters, Golden's backing Biden.
I'm Bruce Poliquin, and I approve this message.
Jay Leno live in concert.
Researchers at Washington University report that 100,000 years from now, the average size of the human head will greatly increase. They say the larger the head and larger the jaw, the more sexually attractive people will be. So I am 100,000 years ahead of my time. That's right.
Saturday, October 22nd, Collins Center for the Arts, Orono, Maine. Tickets on sale now at waterfrontconcerts.com.
You're watching Fox 22, Bangor.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. Today is October 20th, 2022. There are 72 days left in the year. On this day in history, in 1803, the U.S. Senate ratified the Louisiana Purchase. In 1947, the House Un-American Activities Committee opened hearings into alleged communist influence in the motion picture industry. Take it from there.
Yeah, and in 1979, the John F. Kennedy Library and Museum was dedicated in Boston. Today's birthdays include actor Viggo Mortensen. I learned he's 64 today, but I learned he's known for Lord of the Rings,
right? Which
I love.
One of the characters.
Yep. Rapper Snoop Dogg, better known to me, is 51, and actor John Krasinski, probably most well known from The Office, is 43 years old.
It's one of my favorite actors on that
too.
whole thing. Pretty
Mine
neat.
Too. Yeah, I take. You know how in The Office they'll slowly pan in on Jim, and he's just being reactions. A little like,
yeah.
That's yes. I try to encapsulate that in my reactions too.
It's a great show.
Just a silent, yep.
Well, the Maine Foliage Report released an updated map on the leaf peeping conditions out yesterday too.
It's that time already. The Maine Department of Agriculture, Conservation and Forestry's final foliage report indicates past peak conditions for most of the state. Peak conditions are still occurring, though, in southern parts of the state.
Big story in downtown Bangor yesterday, too. An exciting story, anyway. Bangor Floral joined the nationwide effort to pedal it forward. At Bangor's West Market Square, strangers received 2 free flowers, one to keep and one to give away to someone else.
Organized by the Society of American Florists, this random act of kindness was designed to help start people's day off with a smile and less stress. Bangor Floral Office Manager Heather Murray explains why people should join the effort to pedal it forward.
Studies have shown that smiling reduces depression, and, let's just make the world a happier place.
For more information on the health effects of flowers, be sure to check out aboutflowers.com/research.
And if you missed that yesterday, maybe go buy a bouquet of flowers for someone that you love or care for and
there you go.
Brighten up their day.
Right, maybe steal one from it for yourself.
There you go. You got to be good to yourselves, too.
Yes.
Today will be an absolutely great day to get outside and do just about anything you want to.
It's a beautiful day, and that trend is continuing on for the next few, I think. But, as usual, Devin has the details.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Happy Thursday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Shepherd Toyota, your hometown connection for Toyota cars and trucks. Easy to find on Route 1, Rockland, Thomas, and Town Line. Shepherd Toyota has a great selection of new and previously loved vehicles. At Shepherd Toyota, they don't sell you a car, they help you buy one. Come experience the Shepherd difference today. All right, let's get things rolling out there this morning. A few counties under a frost advisory still, where growing season is still going on, but everyone else pretty much cooling off as we head into the latter parts of fall. Small craft advisory is up until 6 a.m. on Friday, though, as the ocean does continue to remain active. Here we are, radar and satellite. This is a nice sight to see. Things finally starting to calm down around here, though, as this front is now tracked off towards the east. A lot of clearing of the skies. The next several days will feature plenty of sunshine. We'll have to wait until next week for our next round of a few showers. I'll begin to move in yet again. But here's the wide picture. This front's finally out of here, and high pressure is going to be just to our south moving in. So those mean some nice weather on the way for us coming up. So for today, though, maybe a few clouds across the northern ends of the state. But for us, looking pretty good with a lot of sunshine that will begin to be seen today. Otherwise, though, the winds could get a little gusty again. It'll be out of the southwest, some sustained winds up to 15 miles per hour at times, with some gusts even up to 25 miles per hour. Hourly forecast for the rest of the daytime period, a lot of sunshine, temperatures making it into the 50s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma?
Not bad at all. And still to come here on Good Morning Maine, the latest in local sports with Tyler Cruz.
We'll be right back.
Join us at Village Variety in Glenburn for hand-tossed pizza, sandwiches, salads, and more. We have been in business for more than 20 years and are very active in the local community, open 7 days a week.
You work the night shift. Take the extra shift. Wake up before dawn, and every paycheck you pay into Medicare and Social Security to fund the retirement you deserve. Bruce Poliquin voted to cut Medicare and put Social Security benefits at risk. He even wants to raise the retirement age. Pretty rich coming from a millionaire politician who's never had to pull an extra shift. Moderate PAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
You better move if you wanna go. Go ahead, yeah, on a roll. Turn up, yeah, listen to it. You better do it if you're gonna do it. Yeah, I never seen something like this, no.
It's your journey. Own every mile in the Hyundai Tucson. Lease an all-wheel drive Hyundai Tucson for $239 a month or get up to $1,000 bonus cash. See your Bangor Hyundai dealer.
It's simple, and it's not an imaginary threat. In fact, it's happening right now all over the country. Bruce Poliquin would hand over control of our healthcare decisions to politicians. Poliquin would allow politicians like him to make abortion illegal, even in the case of rape and incest. But that's not the end of the story. Poliquin also supported a national abortion ban. So even if Maine says no, we still lose control of our healthcare decisions. Bruce Poliquin is a risk we just can't take. Center Forward Committee is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Join us at Village Variety in Glenburn for hand-tossed pizza, sandwiches, salads, and more. We have been in business for more than 20 years and are very active in the local community, Open 7 days a week.
C.J. Stroud leads Ohio State's offensive assault against Iowa. Big noon Saturday on Fox.
Welcome back in. Thank you for staying with us. We will start with some news out of the high school hockey world. The season is supposed to begin in less than 2 weeks, but as of right now, there is still no contract between the Maine high school hockey officials and the MPA. Right now, the MPA is not canceling the season, but the officials are holding their ground. This spring, the Officials Advisory Committee issued a new contract proposal for all high school officials, one with pay increases over a 3-year deal, but hockey and lacrosse did not sign the contract, with hockey officials saying the sport should be treated differently due to the cost of equipment, travel, and the special skill set needed. They need to know how to skate, a little dangerous out on the ice. In a letter sent out on Wednesday, the committee said they would not open up negotiations, but would be willing to approve a 1-year contract for ice hockey. The officials are asking for $90 per game. Right now, all Maine high school officials are being paid $82 per game. So that leaves over 1,000 athletes in the balance, and athletic directors are trying to figure out how to have a season with officials. We'll provide updates as they are made available to us. Let's stay with some high school sports now. Last day of the regular season for fall sports, teams trying to grab that final win of the year and gear up for playoffs. A lot of soccer action on Wednesday, and that is where we're headed. A Class A matchup between Camden Hills and Brewer over at Cameron Stadium in Bangor early in the first half. The shot from Camden Hills' Sydney Stone, save made by Bella Tanis, score still knotted at 0, but not for long. Here is Britta Denny. She's going to take it all the way down and just edge it past Tanis for the goal, makes it 1-0. Windjammers with 28 left in the half. So just a couple of minutes later now, the Windjammers, again, here they come. Here's Brenna Jackie. She is going to bend this one right off of the left post and in. That gives Cameron Hills a 2-0 lead. We're still in the first half. Here's Amelia Johnson, and she chips it in from outside the box. That makes it 3-0 Windjammers, and that's how it would end too, so they get that win heading into playoffs.
Well, definitely if we play like that, we're going to go far, I hope, to the championships. We're working really hard, and I think if we keep it up, we'll get there.
Same place, just two different teams now. Class B matchup, John Bapst looking to finish unbeaten. Herman looking to end the year with a win. First half, Bapst on the move. Here's Jack Mason. A great ball. Connor Maservi gets a hand on it. He can't corral it. Hunter Kluge knocks it in. It's 1-0. Corner kick for Bapst. Kluge sending it in, and it's John Pangburn using his head as a weapon there. Finds the back of the net for the goal. That's 2-0. Herman now. They're trying to get on the board at the end of the game on the corner kick. But here is Matt Fitzpatrick with the save. A little bit of a double doink there. He pitches a shutout, and the Crusaders win 2-0. They finish the year 13-0-1.
We just got to keep playing our possession style, and if we play our game, then we'll be doing just fine. I think what sets our team apart is that our communication and our ability to play together as a team. I mean, we play together, we're on the field, off the field together, and I think that really helps our game.
And the nightcap now at Cameron. A triple header there. Bangor and Hamden Academy. It was cold, but the Rams were hot. 3-1 Bangor in the second half. Here comes Emmy Streams with the wheels, and then she deals it right inside of the post. That is 4-1 Bangor. A couple of minutes later, a nice pass from Olivia Scott here. That finds Tegan Atherley. She's not cold anymore. She's going to put it in. It's 5-1 Rams. They were not done there, though. Here comes Lily Chandler. 3 goals in 4 minutes for the Rams after Chandler snipes that one in. They would add one more. They'd go on to win 7-1. All right, let's talk some football. Over to the Patriots. Them and the Chicago Bears will square off on Monday Night Football at Gillette Stadium. And still, the question remains, who will be under center for the Patriots? I feel like a broken record at this point. I can imagine how Bill Belichick feels. He has a good problem on his hands, though, on who to start. Mac Jones, who's inching closer to 100% on that left ankle, or do you ride the wave with Bailey Zappi? 2-0 in his young career. He's taken Pats Nation by storm. At his weekly presser on Wednesday, Belichick still won't give away who his starter is, but the excuse this time, it's too early in the week to tell.
I have total trust in Mac and our conversations the last couple of years. But we'll see how it goes. I don't know. We're not practicing today. We're gonna, get a jump on the Bears on some meetings and film work and things like that, and then we'll practice tomorrow. So we'll give you the injury report tomorrow. Let you know how things are then. But really, there's nothing to talk about today.
All right. So we'll have an update on Thursday. That's all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
87,000 new IRS agents. Jared Golden and the Democrats in Congress voted to hire them. They doubled the size of the IRS to seize another $20 billion in new taxes from the middle class. And now Democrats openly threaten to raise taxes again next year. Jared Golden won't stop them. He votes with Biden and Pelosi 83% of the time. It's a war on the middle class, and Jared Golden marches with them. The NRCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Rowell's Garage has been serving customers in the greater Dover-Foxcroft region since 1946. Our goal is not just selling you a vehicle, but also giving you quality service to maintain your vehicle at peak performance. Browse our inventory online or in person. Whether it's a car, truck, or SUV, we can put you in the vehicle that is right for you. Sales, service, and parts. Rowell's Garage. Doing business the right way every day.
Looking for a new work experience? Fox and ABC Bangor are partnering with local employers to feature the best local job opportunities, like this one.
Fariello Construction in Rockland is expanding and has immediate openings for laborers, transit mixer drivers, and dump truck drivers, loader operators, and a bookkeeper. To apply, visit their Facebook page at facebook.com/Fariello Construction or call 594-9840.
She's been learning about the founding of our country, about rights and freedoms that today are under assault. Politician Bruce Poliquin supported amending the U.S. Constitution to ban abortion. He even voted for a nationwide ban. Poliquin would allow politicians to stand between women and their doctors. He supported allowing states to outlaw abortion even in cases of rape or incest. We can't let Bruce Poliquin back in Congress.
DCCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
The Pet of the Week is brought to you by Riptide Smoke Shop in Belfast.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. Catherine Ravenscraft from Bangor Humane Society is in with our Pet of the Week. Thank you for joining us as always.
Thank you.
And of course, who's this?
This is Lacey. I'm not sure if we can really see her. There she is. So Lacey is a 17-year-old Chihuahua. She arrived with us a couple of weeks ago because sadly her person is preparing to pass away, and they're in hospice care right now. Yep. And so Lacey is looking for a new home. We have collaborated with a friend of the former owner to take Lacey over a couple of times and let her see her person. But as you can tell, she's a little shell-shocked right now. At 17, this is a lot of transitions. Even putting her in the car to drive her here today, you could just tell she was like, what is happening in my life right now? So she obviously will need a vet relationship right away. So we're looking for someone who has a good relationship with a veterinarian in the area. So that she will not have to wait to be seen should anything arise. She does need some dental work, but that is just not anything that we would recommend, or any vet I think would recommend for a 17-year-old dog. To put her under general anesthesia would just be kind of dangerous right now.
Sounds like she just needs a lot of love and a place to stay.
That's it. She just needs a warm lap. As you can see, she's perfectly content just sitting here with me. And she does a lot of trembling, which is part and parcel of the breed itself. But
does she need a certain type of food because of the dental work?
She'll need just soft food, and she's a princess. She likes it warmed up a little bit before she'll eat it.
Me too, Lacey.
I know.
I'm not a cold food person.
No, I want a hot meal. Exactly. So soft food, soft treats, and just someone who's going to be around all the time, and has a lap open and waiting for a dog like Lacey.
This has got to be pretty common too. I mean, it's a sad fact of life, but
it is.
I'm sure you get a bunch of animals that way.
Well, we see our fair share. We don't get too terribly many, and we're really fortunate that there seems to be a lot of folks in the community that raise their hands pretty quickly for old dogs to provide hospice care or fospice care, foster hospice,
Yep.
for older dogs. So once we get them in, especially a tiny dog like this,
Yeah.
once she's adoptable and ready to go, which will be in the next couple of days, she likely won't be with us for too long.
Yeah.
Which is good because the kennel environment, as I've said before, we love them to pieces. We do the best we can, but it's stressful.
Yeah.
It's not cozy.
It's not
Right.
home like they've been used to for so long.
I mean,
exactly.
on that line, do you know if she had the same person for all of her years?
I believe that she did.
Oh,
yeah,
baby.
I believe it was just one owner. So
So she's very out of her element and just wants a place to sleep. She must sleep all day.
she really does. Yeah.
Yeah.
I brought her into my office for a few minutes yesterday, and she just sort of wandered around.
Yeah.
She's trying to figure out where she fits now.
I know. She seems a little sad. So
She
She
does.
just wants a buddy to understand her.
You're very pretty, though.
She is so
She
pretty.
is. I know, and we were talking about this little snaggletooth she's got here, and when she does stick her tongue out, it definitely lists to the left. So
She'd be a great
pretty
companion
cute.
for somebody, though.
She really would. Yeah, I can see her in one of those carriers,
Right.
that somebody wears on them.
Yeah.
That way she can be cozy and close all the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Somebody who's looking for that codependent relationship to pour all their energy into.
Exactly.
That's why our pets. Yeah, that's what pets are perfect for.
It's
You're
true.
a good girl.
It's
Yeah.
true. She is.
She looks like she'll
is.
take off from those ears. Oh, I put my
know.
hands up in that.
I know, she jumps. I was holding her yesterday while I was working the microwave,
Yeah.
and just the microwave door swinging open, she was like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Right, you're moving too fast
Slow
for
it
me.
down,
Yep.
lady. Yeah.
I know. I have been hesitant to pet her because I don't want to overwhelm her. And
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. You know, I find a good rule for most dogs is hand down and in front of their nose,
Makes sense.
Okay.
rather than going for their head.
That way it's not a threat.
Exactly, and then they can decide whether
There you
they're
go.
comfortable.
There we go, honey.
Yeah, there. I know, poor little honey.
Well, if you're interested in Lacey, you may want to contact the Humane Society in the
Yes.
next couple of days, see what's going on.
Exactly.
with her.
Fill out an application. Make sure you've got that strong vet relationship beforehand. And anyone that lives in the home does have to meet with her. If you have other dogs, we have to do a dog-to-dog visit to
Makes
make
sense.
sure it's a good fit.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And you have an event you want to plug, too.
We do.
Yeah.
So we are partnering again with ASPCA and Quirk Subaru to have a adoption week. That'll start on Monday, but on Saturday we're going to kind of kick things off with Quirk being at the shelter. They're going to make pet tags, pet ID tags for free for anyone who stops in and wants one. We'll be giving away some goodie bags, and all of our mini pet portrait sessions are full, but we are doing pet portrait sessions. So keep an eye on Facebook in case any open up. We'll let you know. But
Awesome.
yeah,
Sounds like
so
a fun
stop
event,
in.
yeah.
And we're gonna fill a Forester right now. There's a very slick black Subaru sitting on our lawn, waiting to be filled with donations on Saturday. So come on over anytime from 10 to 2. Donate what you can, and we'll load you up with some goodies.
That's convenient. If you
Yeah.
have any old blankets or anything you're looking to donate, you can drop them off
Exactly.
and go enjoy the fundraiser.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. Cat food, dog food, especially canned cat food and dog food.
Yep.
Treats and blankets. All of that is greatly appreciated.
Always in need of those things.
It's true.
Well, that
It's true.
sounds good. Thank you for joining us today,
Thank
Catherine, as
you.
always. And thank you, Lacey.
Thank you, Lacey. You did great.
She's a good girl.
She really is.
We'll send it over to Devin Biggs for our full weather forecast.
Alrighty, Craig and Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Shepherd Toyota, your hometown connection for Toyota cars and trucks. Easy to find on Route 1, Rockland, Thomas, and Town Line. Shepherd Toyota has a great selection of new and previously loved vehicles. At Shepherd Toyota, they don't sell you a car, they help you buy one. Come experience the Shepherd difference today. All right, let's get things rolling out there this morning. We had a few areas under a frost advisory. That's getting dropped later this morning. There's other areas as well under a small craft advisory until 6 a.m. Friday, because even though things are calm on shore, we saw that front out towards sea, which is causing the surf to get just a little bit on the active side. But the good news is finally we can say goodbye to this system right here. That's now tracking from the west going toward the east. And not much behind it. You have to look toward Canada for anything else that's developing at this point. But for us, we're going to be looking pretty good moving forward with this front tracking off towards the east. There's another area of low pressure that's going to stay to our north, maybe send some clouds in our direction, but most of us will see a good amount of sunshine today with high pressure not too far away. Now, the gusty winds could be an issue in some areas today, reaching up to around 20 to 25 miles per hour, but pretty much staying at around 15 miles per hour otherwise, at least until we head towards early Friday morning when things begin to ease up just a little bit. Wave heights, this is why we still have small craft advisories in effect. 5 to 8 foot wave heights being noted according to some of the buoys out there. And until this cold front begins to move away, these wave heights will continue to remain a little on the high side. Our average high is 57 degrees. We'll reach for the middle to upper 50s today and tomorrow, with the middle 60s returning just in time for the weekend, with the upper 50s for you Monday, then back up into the middle 60s again as we head towards Tuesday and near Wednesday. Futurecast moving forward for today, a lot of sunshine, maybe a few clouds in the northern ends of the state, maybe a few passing clouds even early tonight as well. Further out towards the north, but Bangor to the south should be good with a mostly clear sky, maybe some areas of dense fog that could develop. But Friday, another nice day on the way with a lot of sunshine. Looking ahead towards the next week, though, here's that chance Sunday night and at least 2 parts of next week before more rainfall on the way. This is way out, so we have plenty of time to watch this, but maybe another couple inches of rain on the way between Sunday and at least parts of Thursday up next week, so we do have time to watch this. But for today, it's beautiful. Middle 50s, mostly sunny and breezy. That south wind getting up to around 25 miles per hour. For tonight, middle 30s, mostly clear areas of dense fog. South wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tomorrow, upper 50s, not bad, mostly sunny. A southwest wind backing off to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chevrolet Toyota extended forecast. Here we are, plenty of sunshine, at least through Saturday. Temperatures on Saturday rising to the mid-60s. We're still in the mid-60s on Sunday with a mostly cloudy sky. And more rain moving in Sunday night into Monday. Monday's high in the upper 50s.
87,000 new IRS agents. Jared Golden and the Democrats in Congress voted to hire them. They doubled the size of the IRS to seize another $20 billion in new taxes from the middle class. And now Democrats openly threaten to raise taxes again next year. Jared Golden won't stop them. He votes with Biden and Pelosi 83% of the time. It's a war on the middle class, and Jared Golden marches with them. The NRCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
You know, we can go into a room and have absolutely nothing in there, nothing on the windows, no color, no character, no tone to a room.
That's, I think, where we're strongest, is being able to help someone envision what's going to go in that window.
And we leave, it's totally transformed into something that the customer wants it to be. We've often been told we make a room look better just by leaving it.
Hammond Lumber Company, a fourth-generation family-owned and operated business with 22 locations across Maine and New Hampshire and a legacy of service to the community, is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the 2022 Plane Pull to benefit the Travis Mills Foundation.
Hey everybody, Travis Mills here, founder and president of the Travis Mills Foundation. And on behalf of myself, my family, and the recalibrated veterans and their families, I want to say a massive, huge, gigantic thank you to Hammond Lumber Company for their continued support. I appreciate them, and I hope you do as well.
She's been learning about the founding of our country, about rights and freedoms. Freedoms that today are under assault. Politician Bruce Poliquin supported amending the U.S. Constitution to ban abortion. He even voted for a nationwide ban. Poliquin would allow politicians to stand between women and their doctors. He supported allowing states to outlaw abortion even in cases of rape or incest. We can't let Bruce Poliquin back in Congress.
DCCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
A recent study says adding more natural space could help many in poor areas add years to their lives. Scientists with the University of Glasgow in Great Britain say increasing natural spaces such as parks and gardens helps drop death rates in people under the age of 65.
They add it could be key to narrowing death rates between the rich and the poor. The researchers say each 10% of natural spaces added, there was a decrease in death by 7%. The study combined disease data with geographic zones and could help shape health policies.
Makes a lot of sense. I tell you what, today I think I'm going to try to get outside too.
Yeah.
We've got sunny weather, highs in the 50s. I don't know how long it's going to linger. So
I know, it looks like that for the next couple days, but we are lucky for that reason here in Maine. We have plenty of places to always get outside. Yep. Even if you don't have a car, generally there's a park close by or nicer